Knock, knock, everybody. Derick Van Ness here, wealth strategist, investor, life adventurer, and today I want to talk about where should you be investing if you're in your 20s, right? This comes up a lot of times. A lot of people want to retire early. A lot of people want to get on the right successful track. We're going to tell you all about the best places to invest in your 20s, and it's not going to be where you think, but by the end of this video, you're going to have such crystal clear ideas about the things that you can be doing to build wealth financially, as well as happiness and success in life. So you're going to absolutely love this. So here's the deal. When I was in my 20s, I was working a job and I was thinking, well, I should save in my 401k and I should be putting money into the stock market. And that's what I'd been trained to do. And everybody who talked to me always said, Derick, if you put money in your 20s, you've got so much time for this to snowball and grow. And you even as a young person have the ability to take bigger risks so you can get bigger returns. And long term, if you put 300, 500, 700 bucks a month away, over time, that's going to turn into millions of dollars. You're going to be super, super wealthy. You can retire early and all that stuff, right? And when I was in my 20s, I thought, it'd be great. I'm going to retire by the time I'm 40. I want to do that. That would be super cool. And then I can just play and party and travel and do all the things that I want with my family or whatever was going to happen with my life, right? So I'm here to tell you that I believe that is not where you should be investing your money in your 20s. Now, people are going to hate on me, but I want you to hear me out. This is really, really important. The biggest investment you can make in your 20s, because you are young and because you are still figuring things out. Do I think you should be saving money? Yes. Do I think you should be putting money in a place where it will go up? Yes, I absolutely do. But here's the bigger investments, because what nobody will tell you about investing is this. The most important thing to building wealth is your ability to earn money, right? Your ability to earn, not your ability to invest. That earns money, but what your primary job, income, or business is the first place I would be looking to invest. So what do I mean by that? I mean, invest in your skill set, invest in your education, and invest in becoming really, really good at what you want to do with your life. This will set you up to be able to get the kind of jobs or build the kind of business that you want. The whole reason that people want to retire is they don't want to do crappy work for the rest of their life. But here's the thing, if you acquire the skill set so that you can do what you really want, maybe you want to make films and create videos. Maybe you want to do marketing. Maybe you want to coach and train people. Maybe you want to motivate people. Maybe you want to work on vintage cars. It doesn't really matter. But to be able to do that and make a ton of money at it, you need a skill set, right? So ask yourself, if I was to become this person that I want to career-wise, if I was to be able to spend my time doing the things that I want to do that matter in the world, what skill set do I need and what jobs can I get, or what classes can I take, or what education can I invest in that will give me the skills to do that? Like, I really love the combination of getting an education outside of, I'm not against traditional college education, but the reality is that gives you generally a very broad education. My job, what I do right now in finance and financial strategy was like one class in my entire business degree. So I went to school for 4.5 years and one class, and maybe half the chapters in that class apply to what I do now. Crazy, right? Like, I got this whole huge education so I can do this one little sliver of all of that. What these other types of specific education do is they teach you skills that almost nobody has. I had like 5 chapters from one book into what I do now. You can go out and get an education on what I do now, and you can learn 100 times more than that in way less time than it took to even take that one class, let alone get the entire degree. So I'm not against degrees necessarily, especially if you're going to be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, something where you need it. But if you know, I want to be a filmmaker, you either need to go to filmmaker school, or if you can't afford to pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that at USC or whatever the top schools are, then maybe take some specific education. Yeah, it might cost you $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 to get really, really good filmmaker education, but you're going to be super, super skilled in that area. So I think get the education and then get the jobs. If you can get that, if you want to be a filmmaker, get that job once you've got the education where you can work with someone else who's a mentor, who's better than you, who can show you how to increase your skills, how to get clients, how to build a business, how to do the things you want to do. If you can just look at, here's where I want to end up in life, or here's where I think I want to end up in life, and then reverse engineers, what skills do I need? It's going to make a massive difference. Here's why. Because you can take that $500 a month and be putting it into your 401k or IRA, and you'll have some up years, you'll have some down years, but long term, the market shows that it returns 6 to 7%, and that's great. But if you take that $10,000 instead of putting it in the stock market, and if you put it in the stock market, you'll make, at 7%, you'd make $700 this year. Big deal. If you put that $10,000 into your education over here to become a filmmaker or a brick mason or an auto mechanic or whatever, to be specific to the kind of stuff that you want to do you think you could earn an extra $700 a year on that? Of course, you can create an entire career. Now you're making more money doing something you love. And here's where the snowball starts. And this is what nobody will tell you. Once you get on a path that you love, you just consume so much more information. You get so much better. And your ability to earn goes like this, right? In the very beginning, you might have to shine some shoes and do the boring stuff and whatever, but you're learning. And as soon as you start to get your chance, because you've got the skills, you're going to take off. And then you get to spend your whole life making more money, doing something you love that matters to you, that you don't even want to retire from, because you get to do this all the time, right? And so the ROI, the return on investment in that, is exponential. It is going to destroy what you're going to get in the stock market, in real estate, in any of these other things. Now, if you're in your 20s, and once you start getting that skill set going, and you start making good money, and you've invested in your own mindset, and that could be everything from personal development books to seminars to working with a therapist. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but when you get your head right, you can do anything you want. You can literally create the life that you want. Is it easy? No. Is it possible? Yes. And if you get the right help, it absolutely makes a big, big difference in you being able to get out there and live a big life, right? Like, that's the whole point of it, is to create that. If you have money, but you don't have a life you enjoy, all you're trying to do is run away from your job. So you have to spend all the money that you're saving or growing in investments to get away from your job. Why not create a job or a business that you actually want to be involved in, that you think matters and you care about? If you do that, ROI is through the roof, satisfaction's through the roof. Then as that business and or income is kicking off tons of money, then you can take that money and you can start putting it other places, right? I would suggest, in my belief, that you start with something that's foundational, something that always goes up, or something that you're super passionate about. My two favorite things are, I love real estate investing and I love cash value life insurance. Now, the real estate investing is like super popular, and a lot of people know about rental properties and flipping properties and short-term rentals like Airbnb. People don't know so much about life insurance. I've got other videos that talk about life insurance and how it works and so forth. But the long and the short of it is, life insurance creates a situation where your money always goes up. You get tax advantages, so that growth doesn't get beat up by all the taxes, because once you start making a lot of money, all that earnings can go to Uncle Sam, and that sucks. And it's totally liquid, so you can use it to continue to fuel the things that you want with your life, with your career, with your other investments. It's very possible, and we teach people to do this all the time, that you build up money in life insurance, and then you take that money and you put it into real estate. Now, the caveat here is you got to do real estate right? If you do real estate wrong, it sucks. If you do life insurance wrong, it sucks. You need to work with people who understand how to do these properly. If you're paying full blast for real estate and it doesn't cash flow and you've got bad tenants, it's a nightmare. If you work with the wrong people and they set your life insurance up so that the growth of cash is super slow and the death benefit's too big and the fees are too big, it sucks too. So just like everything else in life, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. But I think if you do those, over time, life insurance and real estate both always go up. And you can't lose if you stick with them long term and you do it right. Now, what does that allow you to do? Those create passive income so that you can really focus on what you're really, really good at until you get into your 30s, where you're really going to grow and expand. But in your 20s, I think if you focus really on taking the jobs and that you can acquire the skill sets and meet the people who are going to help you build the life that you love, investing in your education, investing in your skill set, investing in relationships will absolutely outpace anything else you can do out there. I know a lot of people are going to give me a black eye on this one. I'm just telling you, look across the board. Everybody who's killing it in the world has invested in themselves early in their life, built the right relationships, built the right skill sets to be really good at something. And then once you get that going and you got tons of cash coming in, then you can start doing all that outside stuff. And I suggest just you stick with the things that work and go up all the time, no matter what the markets are doing. Anyway, that's my best advice. If you have any questions about like what other types of investments or opportunities are out there, I do have another video on how to pick the right investments for you. I also have some life insurance videos, but check those out. If you haven't already, please like this video. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, you're going to get tons of great information. We do a couple of these a week, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.